suitability to hold the position of Cabinet Secretary for Gender. And therefore, His Excellency the President has a prerogative to nominate her into any other position other than that position that she had been nominated for. And the President is also has the prerogative to nominate another person from the same region, the same area, the same village.
Give him 2 minutes.
I would encourage the President to nominate another equally qualifying candidate from the same region, the same place, and as I said, with requisite experience and qualifications to serve someone suitable to serve in that office. Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, I now beg to move and ask all of you, honorable members, all of you, in one accord, to support this report where we all put in a lot of man hours up to late this morning, Honorable Speaker, when we adopted this report, having considered all the issues that came before the committee. And I am confident once approved, this new cabinet and those that will be vetting this Friday, and if we adopt this report as it is, when a replacement for this lady is nominated and vetted, we'll have a cabinet that, in the words of Martin Luther King, will serve the people and will look at what they can do for others, not for themselves, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move and take this opportunity to ask all of you to support this report, as I request my counterpart and my good friend, the Honorable Junet Mohammed. I don't know whether he is now the minority whip or the incoming leader of minority, the Honorable Junet Mohammed, to second. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me an opportunity. Mr. Speaker, from the onset, I stand to second the motion, Mr. Speaker, for the approval of the nominees. And Mr. Speaker, also support the motion, because, Mr. Speaker, this is, as you said earlier, constitutional responsibility of this House to make sure that this country has a cabinet secretary, Mr. Speaker. As you are aware, Mr. Speaker, previously, before this constitution, the President used to appoint cabinet ministers as he wishes and dismiss them as he wishes, Mr. Speaker. But now, under this new constitution, there is a requirement, constitutional requirement, that any nominee that has been brought by the President must be approved by this House. And today we are here, Mr. Speaker, exercising that constitutional mandate. And that's why I want to urge my colleagues to take this matter of the approval very serious, Mr. Speaker. The confirmation of cabinet nominees, Mr. Speaker, is not just a procedural, Mr. Speaker, formality, but it's a vital process that shapes the trajectory of the governance of our country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, long time, and you are a veteran politician as you are a lawyer. Mr. Speaker, the President used to nominate anybody if he feels like. Whether you are academically qualified, whether you have the experience, doesn't matter. Even if you have never stepped in a classroom, Mr. Speaker, the President has the prerogative to appoint you as a minister. But at this point in time in this country, Mr. Speaker, you will be nominated and Parliament will look at your suitability and whether you have the capacity to perform, Mr. Speaker. So for that reason, Mr. Speaker, these nominees went through rigorous evaluation, Mr. Speaker, and looked at the experiences, Mr. Speaker. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you as the chairman of the committee, because this committee has put a lot of man-hour into this matter, Mr. Speaker, took a lot of time to scrutinize these members, Mr. Speaker. And every nominee appeared before the committee in person, and all questions have been put across to them, and a lot of them answered, Mr. Speaker, satisfactorily as per the report of the committee. But, Mr. Speaker, the question that we need to ask ourselves is that why are we in this situation at this point in time, Mr. Speaker? Why are we vetting ministers again mid-term, Mr. Speaker, when the term of the election has not ended, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have found ourselves in this situation because of our own making, Mr. Speaker. And one of the things that has come out in the vetting process is that the issue that has brought us to this situation was captured very well in our vetting process, Mr. Speaker. And we captured that the issue of arrogance, opulence, and show-off, Mr. Speaker. And we put those questions to the nominees. And majority of them took their time to answer that question, Mr. Speaker, and told us that they are not people of show-off.
Order, members. Order. Members on the majority side, try and minimize your levels and tones of conversation so
Mr.
that
Speaker,
we can follow the proceedings.
Mr. Speaker, members of the majority side, some of them are being disturbed by what has happened in the vetting committee, the rejection of one of the nominees, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we must have a vetting committee. And what the committee has done must be taken